You know, it's so funny. I always listen to these guys on YouTube who are quote-unquote experts on getting girls. And I just laugh because I never hear these people talk about what really matters. They talk about the little things, you know, the little things that add on. But what about what really matters? Let me ask you something. You ever been to the gym and you had a very grueling workout? I mean, high-intensity stuff we're talking about here. And it's hot, so you start sweating profusely. Your balls are sweaty, you have swamp ass. The crack of your ass is literally leaking water. I mean, you can see it from the back of your pants. And so you finish your workout, you leave the gym, but then you gotta go run errands. You don't go straight home. You run errands for a couple hours. In the meantime, the sweat settles down. The sweat spots go away. You can no longer tell you no longer have the swamp ass. So now the sweat and the bacteria settle on your skin and they start to marinate the juices. When you finally get home, you gotta drop a massive shit. So you drop your pants down, you take a seat, take a shit, and you get a smack right across the face of all the sweat in your nut region, all the swamp ass, and all them juices marinating in your gooch. All that flavor produces a seasoning, a powerful seasoning, that drives women insane for whatever reason. Women can't get enough of the smell of man dick and man balls, especially after a grueling workout. You know, there's been times, I mean, this might be a little bit too graphic to talk about, but there's been times that I've been with a fat girl and she just sat there with my balls right in her nostrils and she was just sniffing my balls for 20 to 30 minutes. I don't understand it, but women go absolutely crazy for the smell of swamp ass and ball sweat. When I get the smell in my nut region, I immediately shower because, you know, I am an aristocrat of sorts. I do own more than one Bitcoin, so that makes me an aristocrat. I'm literally the elite of the elite when it comes to society at this point. That might not be the case now, but one day, people who own more than one Bitcoin are going to be considered the elite of society. You don't believe me? Wait around, broke-ass nigga! But I digress. What if I told you that me skipping out on that shower can increase my chances with women by over 150%? And what if I told you that if you were to go to the gym, sweat profusely, let the sweat marinate in your ball region, you go home, you grab your index finger, swipe it through the sides of your ball sack, and pick that delicious, flavorful hummus that's produced by the ball region and swamp ass. Pick it with your finger. Grab all that deliciousness, all that hummus, and rub it behind your ears, around your main arteries. And so now every time you have a heartbeat, all that flavorful ball sweat hummus goes into the atmosphere. And it's picked up by the delicate noses of women. As we know, women have a very sharp sense of smell. Much more powerful than men for whatever reason. You know, it's funny, today you turn on the radio and you hear Snoop Doggy Dogg calling women a bitch, calling women hoes, and all these other rappers. Everybody calls a woman a bitch, but nobody can really explain why we call women bitches. I mean, what's so bad about a female dog anyways? I mean, there's not much of a difference between a female dog and a regular male dog. There's actually no difference at all. But where did we get the concept of calling women bitches? Well, you see, in the late 1800s, a very prominent scientist by the name of George Washington Carver, through his studies, he learned that women had a higher sense of smell. To his surprise, he fell back in his chair and he said, "Oh my God, these women really is some bitches." He really said that. You don't learn these things in school, you know, because, you know, this is really a stain in American history. It's really a disgusting stain, and it's very sexist and disgusting, and it's disrespectful towards women. So you're not going to learn these things through the school system. But we're talking about history here, my friend. We're talking about George Washington Carver. Real life shit. And so we've been knowing since then that women had a higher sense of smell, you know, kind of like a dog, where they can pick up on things like ball sweat. And so now we can use these things to lure women and use their own weaknesses against them for our benefit, of course. You know, there's much more powerful ways to accentuate, you know, to really amplify the smell of ball sweat. For instance, you go to the gym, you don't shower, you go 2-3 days in a row, a lot of swamp ass, a lot of ball sweat, marinating, a lot of juices. So now we're talking about multiple layers of swamp ass and ball sweat marinated on top of each other to produce a super ball sweat smell. And then every night, you know, this is a 3-night process. Every night you spend like about 2 to 3 hours gooning, just straight up stroking your beef with both hands. And when you goon, we know the smell. It's disgusting. It smells like balls and ass in the room. You go to the room of a person that's a gooner, it smells like balls and ass at times. But that smell, those are all juices and flavors that women adore, that women can't get enough of. And so you leave all that smell, it's all over your hands, and women can pick it up. Women can smell a gooner from a mile away. So now you have all the swamp ass and ball sweat and all them juices marinating, driving women crazy. And you compound that when you rub in your shaft for 2 to 3 hours a night, all them juices on both hands, and you grab all those juices and you pour, you rub your hands through your hair, through the back of your neck, all over your face, all over your arms and shoulders. My friend, we're talking about a powerful concoction of dick and ball smells and pheromones that would have women making questionable decisions in regards to you when it comes to sex. I'm talking about questionable things. The day after, the woman's going to be asking herself, I can't believe I did these things last night. I mean, he literally flushed my head down the toilet and then we did it. And the worst part of it all, I asked for all these things. Folks, we're talking about reality here. Now, of course, let's slow down here. Let's slow down. This only works if you're attractive, of course. This only works if you're in shape, you look good, you're kind of sexy, like Shawn Michaels. Sorry, fatso, I hope I wasn't getting your hopes up this whole time. Yeah, because everything I talked about fat guys, that's just their regular life. These guys they always have swamp ass, always. It's a fat guy. They always got the ball sweat marinating at all times. Too many creases and crevices on these guys. But the problem is, they're fat. And then they're also always eating pizza and Hot Pockets. And they're drinking Arizona juice that costs $1. These are the people that are still eating Skittles. 25, 30 years old, still eating Skittles. And eating a Snickers, because they're hungry. And they really think eating a Snickers is going to help any. And so, yeah, they have the ball sweat, ball juices, and swamp ass, but it's the bad kind. The kind women don't want. We've all smelled a fat guy, there's always like a lingering smell of butt in the air whenever you're around a fat guy. Why is that? Why is that? Well, just simply too many ass juices on a fat guy. It's just way too much. When it gets to become way too, we want a lot of swamp ass and a lot of ball juices as a man. But it's a guy that's healthy, eats a lot of pineapples. So his pores are just exuding testosterone and manness, the flavor that women love. But the fat guy, he's also leaking the testosterone and the manness, but also the Cheetos, also the Doritos, the Arizona, and that disgusting godforsaken man-ass smell.